welcome back. Today at the races, it's the last weekend of the summer,
Mm-hmm.
technically, here for this summer meet at Laurel here in Maryland. Keith
Mm-hmm.
Fusel with me. Welcome, guys. Keith, we had some stakes races. Both stakes races that we had on Sunday had a couple of decent prices attached with them.
Yeah, good prices there. I mean, the bigger one there was Data
Dad,
Man.
yep.
Wow. I mean, I didn't see that race coming. I mean, Rodman had kind of talked that one up a little bit to me. And, boy, he got great position early, just settled, relaxed inside, worked out, and was very determined through the stretch to get up. But, yeah, thanks to Dave for joining me on Sunday's card. You're back, and we're back for a Friday day of racing. And, man, it's cool, comfortable, sun's out. So
It,
if you can come join us, please do so. We've got a great card on tap the whole weekend. We're going to wrap it up here, right inside the 16th hole, heading to the wire for this little summer action at Laurel Park.
There we have. Things are
Mm-hmm.
just looking, as you just described, Keith, just tipping towards 80.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to continue on throughout the afternoon. Clouds in the sky, but they're good clouds. They're nice looking, puffy clouds that we have going on here,
Mm-hmm.
littering the sky over the Laurel lawn today as we kick things off in this first race on Friday's card with that early pick 5, which does begin in a claiming 16,000, going short on the turf for the girls 3 and up, which
Yep.
have never won 3. Keith, you have the number 4 on top. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tap and Glow from
All
that
right.
last effort back. This is in the barn now of Ricky Silliman gets Angel Cruz in the saddle.
Absolutely. Fast and firm today, actually, for today's races. So, yeah, we're going to have great conditions. Tap and Glow. Callie going to try the turf for the first time today. I think she catches a field that's, not just stellar. Some good horses in here, don't get me wrong. But she's going to have to find a clear path because she certainly didn't have it here on July the 23rd, a race in which she got a little bit more flow. Really liked her that day at 7-2, just bottled up for life and death down there inside. Just
Yep.
couldn't find anywhere to go. She had run. We've seen some of these Tapesters, she's by Tapesters, handle the grass. I think she's going to get some speed in front of her. Take a little shot at a price. The obvious horses, hedge to the outside. I mean, Princess Palmer, the 9 and the 11, Go Chanel. Princess Palmer just lights out last time. She
Yes.
got the lead. She controlled it. She ran an awfully big number. I think she might catch a little bit more pace pressure in here. Let's see if she can make it 2 straight. But that was a gaudy number with a 75 buyer and a really good effort. She was beaten 2 races back, though, by the 11 Go Chanel for Damon Dilla DeVico and Stormy Stable LLC. Barbosa there. He knows this filly. She relaxes. She makes a run. She had a really good trip 2 races back when she was able to save ground every step of the way. That inside-out trip that I like on the turf. Will she get it from that outer post?
And that's the question that'll be answered in
Mm-hmm.
about 56 minutes to start off that early pick 4 as Keith Fusel goes 4-11-9-1. First time on the turf for a Ricky
Yeah.
Silliman trainee. Can't go wrong that way. Let's see how you also attack that early pick 4. As
Mm-hmm.
per usual, Keith, you have a nice ticket for us. Ooh, you find a single. I like the structure of this ticket today.
Well, I hope it's a good one, Callie. We're going to see.
You're pretty good at this, Keith.
I think the 1 and the 4 in race 5 look like the obvious horses. $18 ticket. We had a little help in the price because of C now coming out in race number 4. We started 3 deep, 4, 5, and 6 after Union Fashionetta offers some value in race number 2. Race 3. 2, 10, 11, 12. I found this to be a tricky little race. My top selection is down towards the inside. Uncle Curly. Race 4 with a 3, 4, 8. They look like the obvious ones in singling tall order. Hopefully a little better start for tall order today. $18 that early pick 4 ticket.
Keith Fusel pretty consistent with his early pick 4 tickets as far as getting some results. So there we have it. Go to laurelpark.com for more information and a second look even on our Twitter handle at those ticket lineups that we have. But race number 2 is a claiming 10,000, a mile and 16th on the dirt for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2. Keith, you have the number 5 on top, Fashionata.
Yeah.
This one now in the barn of Hugh McMahon gets William Humphrey in the saddle.
Yeah, I'm just taking a shot here. A mile work leading up to this. Had a mile work leading up to that turf try. But I think third off of the break. This has been pretty good for Hugh McMahon. 20% with an ROI of 267. Third after a 60 to 180 break going long. And I tell you, I looked at the family here. This one had a sibling that was able to carry the speed longer and could battle, take a little pressure on the front end and hold. Now, she hasn't shown a whole lot, but against this field, I think she can pop the latches and go. Top Mule may be her main threat to pressure her inside, but I think she's going to be able to clear her. She ran sneaky good 2 races back, had to wait around the turn, and continued on with effort to the wire. So let's get to the front. Let's try to control it here in today's second race at a price.
There we have it. Keith Fusel 5-6-4-1. You also have Chasing Artemis underneath. Rudy Sanchez Salmon. Angel Cruz gets the call again here, just stretching things out from that 7 furlongs last time out.
Yeah, again, third off of a break. Barnes doing okay. This is a tough combo. Owner-trainer combo does well. They hit some prices. This one won't be a huge price, but I like the way she kind of just carried on last time out. She loomed pretty boldly coming to mid-stretch. I thought she might go by. Maybe a little bit of a flattening, but steadily advancing in distances. I think on the go back, you see she's able to handle the 2 turns. I think she's going to be tough in here. Happy Union might be the favorite. I think she's 8-5 now on the morning line. She's going to be tough here. Caught against a slower flow last time. Drops in class. Good rider here, Rodriguez, as we know. I think he'll be kind of just trying to pick that one up and carry her from the 3/8 pole home.
Keith Fusel giving you a price of 10-1 for his top selection there in race number 2 to kick off the early pick 4. Now let's go ahead to that second leg in race number 3 in a starter optional 30,000. A mile and 16th on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 1, 3, and 6 in Bob Marco. You have the number 2 on top on the inside. Uncle Curly now takes the rail for Peter Walder. Carlos Lopez gets the call.
Thought this was a tough race, Callie. I mean, you've got Gunslinger all the way out there for Kieran McGee. Real gutsy effort. A comeback effort last time. Really kind of gave in, was burned up in a duel 2 races back, but just dug in when collared. I think it's all systems go for Gunslinger outside. The King Cheek will be fairly close as well. I think that one will stalk for Jamie Ness. But looking at Uncle Curly, goes second off of a break for Peter Walder. Lopez chooses this one. Over a horse I also like, Jackie A. I'm not going to dismiss. We have a video for that one coming up. But Uncle Curly just never got comfortable down inside.
Agreed.
Softer going, a start and stop a couple times, and then just didn't fire, protected to the last 1/8 of a mile. He's run against better. I think he brings a run today. Now we're going to look at Jackie A. Jackie's A, we're going to go back to the race on the 11th. Watch this turning for home, just kind of settled in behind horses. I thought maybe they'd go take the overland route at the quarter pole, but, hoping for that seam, and it does open up sometimes. Just doesn't get it, does Jackie A, but keeps on finishing well. I thought this one has got a shot in here. Shows a proficiency. Handle the turf, handle the distance, makes a steady progression into it today. Can't dismiss out of my exactas or tries.
And there we have it. You also have the number 12, as you mentioned, Gunslinger, just super game. And then to round out your picks, you go with the number 11 just to the inside, the King Cheek for Jamie Ness. Rodriguez, of course, as you mentioned, go wide on this race. You certainly did on your ticket, and I agree with that. Keith Fusel. 2, 10, 12, 11 there in race number 3. Race number 4 kicks off this third leg in the claiming 8,000, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Also starts that. We'll get to that in a second. Starts the Rainbow Pick 6, a nice carryover of 3,810. Let's take a look at my ticket really quick. I'm trying to give you a bit of a simple structure here. 3-8, single in. Also on race number 5, Keith, we both single in on tall order in race number 5 to round off the the early pick 4, races 6, 7, and 8. I do go wide in those affairs. That maiden claiming 20, that jackpot super high 5 race in race number 6. I go wide in that why not as well, but then 7 and 8, I go 3 deep. Skipping down to race number 9, I go 2 wide. If you wanted to add another one with the number 1 for fun in there, why not? May potentially come at a price from the drop down in that last race in race number 9, but I go 5-7, a $28.80 ticket for that Rainbow Pick 6. But let's circle back to that 4th race that does begin at a claiming 8,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 1, 2, and 7. And let's go ahead and talk about your top selection. And Gallant Gold, John Salzman Jr. gets John Avella today. Yeah,
Gallant Gold showed a little bit more life last time out. And remember, keep scratching this 4th race, take out the 2 C now. But Gallant Gold, some of the speed comes out with C now. So I was hoping he would stay in. But this one, I thought made a pretty good move at 7/8. Just kind of was under a drive at the 3/8. It moved up, had a little traffic late, kept trying. I still think the Cairo Kid, Dialing Dixie, maybe even the Satchel to Riches from the rail, they'll get involved around the turn. I don't think, by the quarter pole, anybody's going to be running away with this. That little bit of life last time, and you go back on the page, Gallant Gold's got some races that certainly work sprinting. I think this one's going to be okay. Going to make that rally into it with Alvelo rider. I think it's a little bit underrated here at Laurel Park. So I go 4-8-3-5. Let's go to the video of the Cairo Kids last race, coming off the claim. jammed down. Got away at a good price that day on August the 4th. So wheeling back in a couple weeks, was able to kind of battle early, moved away and relaxed nicely on the turn. Here's C now on the chase. We're not going to see C now, but the Cairo kid able to kick back away, nursed along, and he has the ability to kind of sit just off of it if he wants to. We've seen him in the past. He'll be able to relax a couple lengths out of it. So I think today, though, all systems are going to be right up towards Dialing Dixie, because I don't think he wants Dialing Dixie Cruz, that is, to get away too easily around the turn. If he does, he's gritty and he can hold sway. So the Cairo kid off the claim for Dan McKenzie. It's a little bit of a question mark. And that Eubanks was going very, very well recently. So you got that. But this is a barn. Smaller sample size, but hitting well off the claim.
Absolutely, Daniel McKenzie getting high in percentages off of short samplings as Keith Fustel goes with Gallant Gold and then 8-3-5 in race number 4 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Now let's kick off the late pick 5 in race number 5, the last leg of Keith's early pick 4 in this claiming 16,000, which have never won 2 for the 3-year-olds and up. 5.5 on the Laurel lawn here today. Scratching the number 3 at Doc Rock, but you and I both, let's just discuss, our both shared single on our tickets. Tall order for Phil Capilano, Carlos Lopez in the saddle.
Yeah, tall order returned from a break from October to June, early June, and really kind of got away with it on the front end of that opening quarter and just burst away from that field with something in reserve. That was reported first time gelding as well. Next time out, Roos picks up the mount. No fault with him. Just, faced better and was rank at the break and never really got on track into some wicked internals. Things won't be that demanding today. Back with Lopez, I think, with a good break, he'll be forward, can maybe go to the front or sit just off of it and get it done, because he did show a little bit of late life last time into a better field. I think his main competition draws the rail. Pick and See Glass hasn't seen a tag for a long time, but a good effort, from November to May, and now a little bit of a break again. That's the concern for me. But positional speed and a lasting type against this kind of group. So one of these two, I believe, in race 5. I think Flight of Bourbon, he'll bring some speed to the table. He got kind of chewed up in a duel, but he's pretty quick. If he clears, he'll carry them a while. You got him second. Maybe you can move him up a little bit. I think, if I had to kind of box the 3, they're the 3 I like in here. So we'll see. And I think the 6. Crazy Odds, I think, is at a little shot to turning back out of a key race. Northern TikTok ran big last time over this racetrack.
And we'll be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of the last summer of Friday's card.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
And welcome back here for the rest of Friday's card for this summer meet at Laurel Park. And we're going to kick things off with our Jackpot Super High 5 race, of course. Get the order of 1 through 5 there. A nice little pool starting to build up with that. And it is in this maiden claiming 20,000. They always pick a good race for this Jackpot Super High 5 race. And a competitive race here, a good handicapping spot in this mile and 16th turf event for the girls 3, 4, and 5. Scratch the 5, Lady Raven, the 11, Save Your Tears, and the 12, Bounty Killa. You have the number 6 on top that I have underneath, and Ms. Me for Carrie Bryan gets Kevin Gomez here today.
You've got Nuwanda, who I think from this outer post will try to go ahead and go on a little bit of a drop. I expected that one to take a little bit further last time. I'm a little disappointed in that effort with Nuwanda. Maybe this drop picks her up, but she will not be out of my exactas. Yeah, Ms. Me, Carrie Bryan, very capable. I think, as you see, first time with a trainer recently, 21% with a positive ROI, but I think just hampered by really difficult post in New York. We're going to come down here. We're going to take a little drop in class, and that's going to be the key. I think this one has positional speed. You saw in debut was fairly close to a pretty quick internal, 45 and 4, and just a little bit of a fade. Certainly bred to handle the route of ground. Orange Freeze, who beat her last time, came back. I think it won a state bred stake, and then was second the other day in a stake beyond a really good runner. So I think the relief is going to be key for Ms. Me, and I think looking at the flow, it's going to be comfortable enough where this one stays around and brings the finish.
Talk about your exacta play in the number 2. One a clear moment for Mikey Gorham gets Daniel, a crafty rider of Daniel Centeno in the saddle here today.
Yeah, I think this one doesn't want any part of the dirt. She's back to her preferred surface. She ran well 2 races. I've seen a couple horses coming off that soft turf at Delaware to run well over this turf course. And Satisfied, the second place finisher, who she was just behind, came back to win, and then was recently a second down at Colonial and a 2 in Life. That works for me. I think this horse wants to kind of just keep on going, has that grinding type of run. So One Clear Moment at a little bit of a price holds value here to close in and rally into the exacta for race 6.
Let's take a look at your third place choice here in Stage Call. In that effort last time out, impressive jump up for Alex White.
Yeah, this is an amateur rider race on August the 6th. This is first time blinkers. And a little issue out of the gate here. A little squeeze, a little pinch back. Was able to get position. They went fast in here early. I mean, they were rolling 23-2, 47-3. Slowed down a little bit, 13. But I tell you, Stage Call a little wide into the first turn. Ends up making a wide progression as well, leaving the 3/8 coming past the 5/16 to the quarter. Ranges up pretty boldly to Stage Call. And Call Me Vivian, the eventual winner, is able to just cut the corner, Cal. Look at that, down inside of 3 other rivals. But I thought Stage Call improved performance with the blinkers. We're going to get Cruz today. Yeah, very well could be the favorite in here, I would think. Nawanda maybe going to take some play, but and even Ms. Me, I think, is going to take some play. But that was good. I think Stage Call is going to be right there in the mix.
And there we have it. Keith Fustel as he goes 6'2", 310 in that race. Race number 7 is a maiden special weight, 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Scratching the number 4, Legendaire. Keith, you have the number 6 on top, and you have a nice little stat on the barn of Arnaud Delacour.
Yeah, this is one they paid $1.5 million for over at Timonium, a 2-year-old sale back in May of 21. Showed a little promise in debut at the fairgrounds. A couple other okay races, but off the bench now and a barn change. Delacour, the last 3 years with the dirt runners, though, 4 for 9, 44%, and 5 for 9 in the money, coming off a 180-day layoff. ROI is good at $4.18. Legendaire is scratched out of here. Was going to take plenty of play for Benny Perkins. But Bunko, yeah, I think you go back on the page, 7/8 of a mile looks like it's going to work. The works are forward. Rallied into a race down at the fairgrounds March 26th. Marsalis is a really good horse right now. I mean, he's now 4 for 7. I think he's run like up to a 98 figure. So caught some classy horses down at the fairgrounds. Plenty of time to regroup for certainly a very capable, classy barn. Vinco might need a little flow in front because with the scratch of Legendary, who I thought was going to be forward, who is going to be the speed? Maybe Neuschwanstein again for Gary Bryan with live runners back-to-back in races 6 and 7. We have a video of that last race.
Yes, we do.
The debut run.
Yes, with, as you mentioned, just not getting the best of breaks.
Yeah, it just breaks a little bit slow. It's very tough. You get back to the 7/8 of a mile, the 7 furlongs in the mile here. I don't know what it is, but it seems like that inside. You really got to be tied on. And this one, just a half a beat slow, but moved up and took pressure from 2 rivals to the outside. Shook clear a little bit around the turn. Just a tough beat because it was dead game to the wire. That's Mr. Mo, who was kind of able to kind of hound Neuschwanstein all the way around the racetrack. Was able to get the better of that. We're going to watch this stretch run. It's a gutsy effort. Gomez came in for the ride and be back again. I tell you, that's Mr. Mo. Ran a 72 with a little upset win next out. So Neuschwanstein, again, cleaner break. The road certainly may go through him unless this firster on the outside for Brittany Russell, high value, brings speed to the table.
And what about Sheriff Ronnie, who you have underneath? 7-2, Rudy Sanchez Solomon. J. Ron Barbosa gets the call with this one. And not a bad effort that same distance last time out.
Yeah, he's really kind of shown some flashes, some glimpses of some real talent. A big number, 83 behind Arabian Lion. And then, some tough trips. That was a brutal trip at Pimlico. You see the short comment steadied along. Next time, shuffled by Faders against Super Accelerate. Now we saw how good that horse has become for Robin Graham. And then a hop and a start at Monmouth going longer. Got back to the 7/8, got back to that sprinting mode, and ran really well behind a 3-5 Shug McGahee horse. I think certainly fits the bill in this race. Kind of a stalk and pounce kind of move. See if he can bring a finish. I think he's going to be tough. And we'll talk about the first or high value, Brittany Russell with these 3-year-olds. The maiden special weight variety is on the dirt in Maryland. 8 for 18, 44% the last few years with an ROI of 282. The mare was good, 3 for 3. That was it. One sibling Ran a few times, broke the maiden for 32 down the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Blames are they're good. I like the blame. So we'll wait and see. Maybe watch the tote board, see how much money kind of fires in early, and if it holds for high value.
This is an interesting race here in this maiden
Mm-hmm.
special weight. A lot going on into the blender here as Keith
Mm-hmm.
Fusel goes 6-2-5-8. We could sit here and pick apart that whole race, I feel like, but
Mm-hmm.
let's steamroll ahead to race number 8.
Okay.
In that allowance, a mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching the number 1, No Easy Days, 10 under the radar, 11 Mission Man, 13 Hoku, and 14 Lease. You have, and I also have
You got to be
the number
kidding
5,
me. Yeah.
Hard Spun Reason. Blinkers on, why not? Fergal Lynch here back in the saddle today. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that last effort on the 15th back here at Laurel Park.
I'm going to check that light fixture above where I do my work in the morning. Make sure there's not a camera in there kind of hitting down the Laurel Park 5-9-12 3. Come on, Callie. I tell you, Hard Spun Reason, certainly it's gotten to the turf. Numbers are fine, running well. Just kind of a steady progression. But I think the focus is going to come today. We saw this move with motion and talked about a stat. I think Rodman had it with Ida Coast. You know, just a little bit more alert, keen to get up into contention and bring that finish. That's what you're going to get today. Hard Spun Reason going 5th time gelding. We scaled off that break coming back in April. But I like the runs this one is brought in a mile and 8. Shouldn't be any issue whatsoever.
And you also go with the number 9 as well. Certain for Anthony Ferrier gets back up to allowance company with Daniel Santana.
Yeah,
in the
I'm not
saddle.
worried. Yeah, the last time in the A other than was just hung wide every step of the way. Couldn't bring that kick. Really gutsy effort. We saw that was a great stretch run, Surter and Gunslinger. But he fits here. I think been trying to get to this, get this A other condition knocked out. Got to shift and save a little bit more ground today. It's going to enhance the run. Surter, I think, certainly has the form that merits a lot of respect there. I think he's going to fire into it again.
You also have the number 12 and the number 3, Who's Counting, and Curly, Larry, and Mo with the blinkers on. So it's tough. This is a tough enough field, but we both feel like the race kind of runs through a little bit of Hard Spun Reason, I would think.
I got a Curly thing. You got Uncle Curly, and Mo. Yeah,
There we
Curly,
go.
Larry, and Mo. But yeah, I think well, looking at the
It's
flow, I think the 3's got to go. I think first
Correct.
time for Brittany. I think this is going to go. Maybe God is Love. It's going to kind of prompt. But the outside is what I'm worried about. Who's Counting? Just a little touch of flat in this horse's run. It's gotta get over early and save some ground. I think. I don't know if he wants to be hung out prompting.
We'll find out. We'll
Yeah.
find out in race number 8. Let's talk about race number 9. Wrapping things up here on Friday in the starter optional, claiming 30,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. Scratch in the number 4. Dancer's Melody. Keith, you and I both also land on the number 5. My Flicker, Lacey Gaudet, Axel Concepcion. A nice win at this level last time out.
Yeah, was ready to rock and roll after a little bit of a break off the claim and got a great ride. Concepcion very patient behind horses. Sat chilly, found the room, and really closed up nicely the last 1/8 of a mile to win going away. Coming back with an extra 1/16 of a mile, this horse is just ultra consistent. Is really tough from 5.5 out to 7/8 of a mile. I think My Flicker again can run it back. This horse can pair up races. The tricky part here is watch how this track's playing. If speed becomes pretty dominant, then you got to look at She's a Super Freak for Jamie Ness. I think she is the speed of the speed. And an interesting little protect move. I think was labeled as a vet scratch. Comes back. Off the claim, stepped up, runs big again, then an optional, protected, not so great, just kind of chased, backed up a little bit, but still protecting kind of here for 30,000. As the bargain can be aggressive, I think they still like her. She's going to be the one to catch here for Ness, but awesome view. Take nothing away from her. She's just pure racehorse. She just prompts. She had a little bit of a step slow last time, but stayed on. I think she just hangs around for a part as well today. 5, 7, 6, 3 in the nightcap.
There we go. Nightcap for Friday here on the Laurel Lawn. Let's go to lightning round to
Okay.
dig into those choices that you have a little bit. Keith, let's start things off with your value play. Fashionata, 10-1 morning line odd. Hugh McMahon, William Humphrey.
I might have spelled her. Fashionati. Yeah, again, we're going to know a quarter of a mile into the race. I need her to clear. If she's pressing, I think we're in some serious trouble. I went back, looked at that breeding. It's there, capable. Go out to the front, relax a little bit, and I think can meet a challenge around the turn and make it work for it from the quarter pole home.
And let's also talk about your best bet of the day in race number 5. Yes, number 4, Tall Order for Phil Capuano and Carlos Lopez.
It just needs to come away better. A little bit, out of sync last time out. We had the short comment of rank. third time gelding. A lot there to like. I think this one has not shown the best of his ability yet on the turf. Inside horse is going to be tough. Terry Overmeyer's horse is going to be tough in there, no doubt about it. But I think Tall Order can kind of measure that speed and go on.
There we have it. I see the same way there for Keith's best bet of the day. Now, as we're kind of getting into our closing weekend here, before we touch on, like I said, we do have mandatory payouts on Sunday. We'll touch on that on Sunday, but trainer standing so far might be an interesting little race. Brittany might make things interesting for Jamie Ness here. What's your take
Certainly,
on that?
and I got to do the math though and check the entries and see how everything is. She's got a couple in today, and Ness, he's got 3 in today. It's going to be a barn burner, no doubt.
Certainly. And to add to that, as far as the jocks go, of course, Jamie Rodriguez riding for Jamie Ness is just going to be that's going to be tough for anybody to come near him this weekend. So Axel Concepcion following behind Angel Cruz, Sheldon, and Jay Ron following behind him as well.
Yeah, they're all good. I mean, I tell you, all those guys are really good riders. Obviously, Rodriguez riding along that hot streak with Ness has put him in a position that it looks like he's home in bed.
And there we have it. Let's go over to David Rodman for some more changes and scratches. Thank you, everybody.
All right, good luck.